Thank you guys for being so patient today. I'm so sorry about the wait time. How's it going, you guys? So today my membership officially ran out in RuneScape. I'm gonna reinstate it after the stream, but I wanted to give this an opportunity, more of like an opportunity to basically show people what you can do if you're just coming out of Tutorial Island for the first time, and basically what things, what quests, what skills you can start right away, and basically what paths you can take. It's a large game with a large ceiling, and the thing is, if you get into the game thinking that Lumbridge and where you start is just it, and it's just standing around, and you just see people kind of talking about nothing. It's a very in-depth game. There's way more to it than just killing rats. So I mean, without further ado, like, this really is an MMORPG that's like, I don't know, it's really built with like minimalistic graphics and the look of it. But honestly, this game has so much depth. There's quests. If you come over, like, as you were taught in the tutorial island, there's free quests, and then there's down here below that, there's members quests, which if you do members, you get unlocked skills, weapons, and there's separate worlds for members too. I find you don't really need members until level, maybe, I don't know, you could probably do without it until level 35 or 45. Have a ton of content. I mean, there is a ton of fun to be had in free-to-play worlds without anything. So let's go to our bank, which is located in the top of Lumbridge Castle. You've probably been here, or if you spawned in, you have to come to the staircase basically to get to this bank. Now I've been here before. I did the chef's assistant, which is just making a cake and running the ingredients to that chef in that kitchen. You can actually get started on that quest by just speaking to the actual chef himself. And when you find it in the free quest, or you can find the actual quest, and once you've started a quest, it will turn yellow, like the text, instead of red or green. It will actually turn yellow to show that you've started a quest, and you can see and click it and see what step you are on. Like, okay, for example, there's mine, the Corsier's Curse. I must have started it, but I just didn't finish it, or I logged off, or something happened. When I do this, I click it, it'll open up that I met the captain, did this, crosses it out that I did that. So I agreed to go to his ship. Now, you can just do it the old-fashioned MMO way and just wander around and use your globe map under your mini-map here that opens up this large map, which is a great feature. This map is really well built in. Shows where you are. You can see the town you're in. Lumbridge, see those little pots over here? This is a general store. You can put your mouse over anything and it'll basically explain what it is. I mean, everything in Lumbridge has a tutor. Clues, which you guys probably don't know too much about, especially coming off of Tutorial Island and being new to the game. You'll probably hear the word clue, or I don't know, like advanced clue scrolls down the line when you get into the game. I haven't really done too many myself. I've probably done under 10 in my whole RuneScape career, honestly. What they are is they're pieces of paper that have basically vague sayings on them. And when you follow the riddles long enough, you'll find an area, whether you dig in a bush or dig in a hole, or random things. It could lead to one you could pick up a clue scroll, killing a goblin, for example, or mostly killing a goblin, killing a man, a woman, a warrior of some form, like usually a humanoid of some form. They're ranked from easy, medium, hard. Go for the easy ones if you're going to, because the hard ones will take you to places that you just can't survive. Like going to the wilderness up here, see this big dark area? This is like a death zone for new players. You can kill each other here anywhere. But you see, like, I've never really been... It's kind of cool, last man stand. Like, I've never been here. Like, I remember walking in citadels and running through the Dark Warriors Fortress. I've been there before a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, so there's PvP in this game too. By the way, that's the line. And you start in Lumbridge, big star is you. This is a great reason why, like, staying in Lumbridge for a little bit's probably the safe bet for a bit. Especially if you're new to the game, you haven't really started it. This game can kind of get confusing to new players if you're just kind of wandering around looking at all these emblems on a map and wondering what's a clue, why is there a pub, why is there a smithing tutor. Yeah, with all the skills piled up, it does look a little probably overwhelming to a lot of people. Let's see if we can I'll just show you guys basically like what you can basically, like, as a basic function when you get out of the tutorial, what you can do in this game just right off the bat, because it might seem like there's just too much, or where you're just thrown out into the world and go, okay, here you go, here's an axe. So what you should do is empty your whole inventory right away. Go to the bank on the top floor of Lumbridge. I would empty your whole inventory. What I do is, you can see I've done like a bunch of quests. I've got a ton of money because I bought a bond to get membership, which just ran out today. But for me, like, if you're going the combat route, I honestly, I really believe just mining is a good idea right away. Do I have a hammer too? There's a hammer. I'll show you what a whole process of mining can do. I think people like kind of just overlook and want the combat right away, which you can do. You can go right for the combat straight away if you want in this game. There's nothing wrong with that, and you can. I know the graphics. And by the way, I'm in a very unpopulated world right now by choice. There aren't more players in the larger world. So I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna mine a couple ores. I'm gonna show you guys basically how you can at least get started with your warrior path if you want to go down that road of just being like basically a swordman, a mace guy, or, you know, a warhammer type of wielding guy, a dagger, whatever you want to wield, like the melee combat aspect. So I'll show you basically how you can kind of start that. So come through Lumbridge, basically, you've probably seen the graveyard over here, and if you've been doing any of the quests like I previously said in the previous stream I did, you'd hopefully have done Sheep Shearer and Mist Hill and Mystery, which leads to this boat in this area, so you should be somewhat familiar with this area. So this is a fishing spot. You can get a bunch of fish. Fishing, basically, those bubbling areas that you see there, the water there, those are fishing spots. You can basically kind of away from keyboard or look on another page of your Facebook, whatever you're doing, or, you know, whatever site you're doing. Twitch is a great one. You can watch a stream basically and just kind of sit at the water and fish a whole inventory. Same with mining, but I find mining is just a little bit too it's quick. You just kind of, so you could just flick to another page and do stuff. So a lot of things in this game are kind of away from keyboardable a little bit. Mostly fishing, I find, because your guy will actually get a whole inventory of fish, and it might take him like this long, how it's picking like a rock, to get one fish, but you still get the experience per fish you get. So that's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna get 2 of each. I'm just gonna show you guys quickly how you can kind of do this out after Tutorial Island, and basically make some armor or a weapon for yourself and start doing combat. Let's kind of go over here. Yes. Go back to the town. I think the town we were originally in. I almost got lost myself there. So yeah, follow the paths also, because you don't want to get lost. This town's fairly safe for the most part. Like, there's no monsters, I think, or enemies that really jump out and attack you. Sometimes you might find the rats might in the swamp. Like, the swamp here is basically where it could get a little bit. You might get more dangerous enemies that might attack you. I don't think they do, though. I don't think they're hostile. By the way, there is a cooking tutor here, so talk to him. There's tutors everywhere. Look for the tutors. Tutors and everything can be identified on the minimap, which you can scroll in and out of. Now, if you scroll out too far, if you see on the mini, oh, you can't see on my screen, damn it. You can scroll in and out on the minimap in the top right corner. if you scroll too far, you will lose the symbols and you won't be able to see what's around you and bunched up because it can't bunch all the symbols up. So it'll automatically clean it up for you and show you the wide map. What you want to do basically is kind of just zoom in enough, unless you just know the map and know the city. But I would zoom in, you know, not all the way, but you know, at least to a point where you can just, the one tick where you can see the symbols is, I think, pretty good. Let's go to the forge now that we got 2 of each ore. Basically, you did this in the tutorial island. You were in the mine shaft. You got a couple of the same ore. You got tin and copper. You need 1 of each to turn them into the bronze bars and start making a weapon. So let's do that. Let's click 1 copper, or you know what? I think you can just click the furnace actually. Yes, and then go over here to bronze bar, and see your guy starts automatically doing the motion. 6 smithing. He makes 2. Go ahead, 1. You know, obviously 2 of them makes 1. Add 4 of them, it makes 2. Okay. So there. Well, I don't know if there's an anvil here. Oh, they actually put an anvil in. Okay. This is new. I don't think they had an anvil back in the day, actually. Yeah, this is new in RuneScape now. They've put an anvil here. What it used to be is you used to just make your bars and you'd put them in your bank and collect them, and then you'd walk to the next town with an anvil because they had an anvil in the next capital city, Varrock, which we'll go there today. We'll take the trip of where you can go after and on the way and the paths outside of Lumbridge. But you want to start kind of venturing out, and if you want to see enemies start really doing damage towards you and get in that zone of danger in the world and you feel like it's too relaxed, we'll get you in a bit of a danger zone or a death crawl. You might have to run to Varrock. Everybody has to do the run. It is initiation, and when you guys see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll click the anvil. So you see, because I have a hammer in my inventory, you have to have a hammer, by the way, with your bronze bars. You can turn them into whatever you want. I mean, if you have 2 bars, see, it makes a square shield. 3 bars though, kite shield. So the difference between them is they probably do different defense, you know, stats wise. This one probably does 2 and probably blocks different types of attack. Probably blunt attack. This one probably blocks stabbing attack. It's different statistics like that, how you want to make your guy. That's more of like a PvE, PvP meta thing you'd probably have to look into more. We're just kind of teaching you today how to get like a basic setup, you know, like just on the way. So you can do this process with the ore and get a whole inventory, crush them down, and turn them into bronze bars. You can even bank them if you want, and then bring them all here after if you want. If you want to make 2 runs of full inventory. But remember, you need to have a smithing level that's pretty high to make the higher end stuff. So you'll only be able to start making daggers, then swords, then scimitars, long swords, and basically in that order. Everything that's like 2 bar, 1 bar. That's kind of how it works with leveling up smithing. The higher smithing, the higher, you know, you'll start seeing things unlock. And then it'll go to iron stuff if you get iron bars, and if you get steel bars, and if you get mithril and adamantium and runite and so on. So for example, you guys would be only, if you're starting out, you're only making like a dagger or a sword. I recommend the scimitar always starting out. I find that the attack speed for free to play is really good. I mean, you want to go basically, they always say like the best free to play weapon is a rune scimitar. I would agree. I would agree with that. They're quick. They hit pretty often, and they're pretty deadly. They're just a quick sword. They look pretty cool too. I mean, it's cool as RuneScape can get. But see, like those 2 ores we just turned into a sword. Now we're wielding it. So let's go attack this guy. I'm sorry, my attack is like level 20 and my strength is level 1. So this is gonna take a bit. You can, yeah, we'll kill this goblin after we're done chasing him. Yeah, see, this is the scimitar. Once you equipped it, you're just hitting with it. Now you can change your combat style with the cross swords into a slash, a lunge, but you see the little brackets underneath where it says like aggressive, slash, and then strength XP. This one's a shared XP, so I think everything gets a little bit of experience, including defense. And I just got jumped by an old man here. Sometimes you get random events like this. I get so lonely. What's been going through now? What the hell just happened? Sometimes you get random events like that where people will yell at you or offer you a sandwich or say they need to speak to you. You can dismiss them, but sometimes they're actually pretty decent. Like that time, that guy just showed up and gave me an uncut emerald. Now, if that happens, you're probably under the trade restrictions on your new guy, on your new account that you've just spawned in on. Now, if you're free to play and wondering how can I get a bunch of like a little bit of coins to start out with, like how can I start making money if I can't trade? I find this probably might be controversial advice, but I would just say just sell stuff to the general store. Honestly, starting off with, I don't know if there's a trade limit with other players though with a new account. I don't know what, like I know there is. There obviously is. I just don't know what it is. Oh, will they not buy it? Oh, yeah, they will. Oh, they'll buy an uncut emerald for 20 coins? I don't think so. Hang on to like jewels and stuff. Unless you're dead broke, the Mistil and Mystery would have given you like 3 uncut ones, which are pretty good. Like the gems are going to be useful for crafting later on, but you'll come across a bunch of them. And I wouldn't worry too much in your journey about basically, like, you don't have to scavenge too many. You'll worry about them later on, and you'll know when you're leveling up crafting and all those spells and all those fun stuff when they'll come into play. But as you can see, because I'm not a member though, you don't get all these skills here like fletching, because my membership just ran out today. I will be a member after the stream though. I'm gonna re-sign up. I just wanted to show you guys actually on a stream like what you can do here. And yeah. So far that was just basically, what did we do? We just got blacksmithing. You could show you how to get armor, weapons. You can get started there. I would recommend, honestly, just coming across up here to where the sheep pens are. So I'll show you Varrock basically. Yeah, we'll do the Varrock run. Now there's two sets of chicken coops and 2 sets of pig pens now. There used to only be 1 set of pig pens, cow stables. But this is now a new type of RuneScape that's been revamped. They've added all these ones over here. Like that used to be a nothing area, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So what I like to do is, now this is basically where you get to choose. Now this is the fork in the road. If you open up your map here, your globe, you'll see now. You're here. You can either cross the bridge and go up this path and follow your way up here, come up here, but either way, this way leads to the town of Varrock, which we're gonna do today. We're gonna show you that. That's the capital. I'd say one of the bigger cities in the game. Well, maybe not one of the bigger, but one of the more populated, well laid out, well known. You can get there 2 ways. I find people usually travel the left way and come up here. Now, the reason why it's a little dangerous is, you see that circle right there? That circle with those little altars have dark wizards that shoot bolts that they can do like 4 damage to you right away. And they can shoot them like every 2-3 seconds, maybe something like that. So you got to be a little bit, you got to tick on your run and run by them for sure, and have some food ready. If they get you once, click your food and just click on your mini map and you can walk. And yeah, I'll show you how to do that. Now the other choice you have, that's Varrock. The other choice you have now, being here again, you can walk up this path, which you might be familiar with already if you've done the Cakes Assistant. You've come to the wheat farm, you've taken the wheat, you've done the sheep shearing over here. Right across the street with the members only, the quest here, members only, water source, the dairy churn. There's a bunch of things to do, but if you keep walking up the path, you'll notice basically 3 paths. Take a left. and you'll end up in the town of Draenor Village. Basically, this town's pretty. It's a very low key town, but it does have a bank. It does have hostile mobs nearby in this jail area, so just be careful. There's also highwaymen, level 5, who will try to rob you and stab you with a short sword if you don't stay out of this area for too long. So I suggest either go straight or take a left. The reason you don't want to go right away is because you're just going to go to Draenor Manor, which is basically just like a haunted house in the middle of nowhere. You won't need to do this unless you're doing the quest Ernest the Chicken or the Vampire Slayer, which you will do if you're a warrior soon. You will be going back here soon. But for now, since you haven't started the quest, or unless you want to speak to Veronica, who is just sitting out here outside the gates of Draenor Manor, you can then proceed to do Ernest the Chicken, which is a good quest. Again, please get the RuneScape wiki and use that. It's one of those quests, but I think it's actually a pretty good one. It's out of the norm of like the RuneScape realm. Again, you're in a haunted mansion trying to solve a scientist experiment that's gone wrong, that's turned a man into a chicken, and Veronica's trying to get her boyfriend back out of the mansion and turn back into a human so they can get the hell out of there. That's your job. That's where you come in as just an adventurer. So now, yeah, so recommend Ernest the Chicken. That's a great quest, especially for quest points. You want to get out of that free-to-play barrier too that limits your trading and limits your, I think it does something else. I know it's like you can't trade a certain amount, or you can't do something a certain amount. But this quest, Ernest the Chicken, gives you like 5 quest points or 4 quest points. So I think you need 10 to almost get out of that barrier, which is a great barrier to get out of. That helps a lot. Fairly short quest if you just do the wiki 2. It can all be done within that mansion. I would just suggest bring a shovel, or a spade, sorry, which can be bought at the Lumbridge general store back home. Now, so you're at this road, you don't want to go there. You said, no, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like Ernest. I don't want to see that little town of Draenor. If you keep running, you'll notice a stone gate. You want to keep running through there, and you'll end up in the sailor's town of Port Sarim. Well, Port Sarim is a fairly safe town. I mean, it's not much happens here, though. I mean, you can go on a couple boats to a different island, and you can actually see different parts of the world from here. I would save it to more high-end level stuff, more level 30 and on stuff if you're going to do that. There's a couple stores that you might want to stop by here. If you're a mage, there is a magic store, which is pretty nice to see out here. It's actually one of the only ones in this area. The only other one you might be going to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this actually might be the only one where you can buy runes, but there is one, I believe, in Varrock. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. Remington is another city, or a city. I keep saying city. It's a village. This is really a village that's connected nearby. Remington looks like I'm going to be going there for the Corsair Curse too, so I'll be coming here soon. There's a mining spot here, and yeah, there's some vegetables. The crafting guild here, if you get high enough crafting, you can be inducted into there, do some mining inside, do some tanning. There is a bank inside the crafting guild. Guilds are located, and this is for all skills. There's guilds of everywhere. They're located throughout the map that you can eventually get a high skill number and be inducted into their guild, and they'll let you go in there. If you don't have this guild, they just don't let you in. They say, no, come back when you have, 60 skill. Yeah, no, they're really helpful, especially if they have, like, a bank. I don't remember them having too many of that. So you see, this one has a spinning wheel, a bank. I mean, this is great if people can do. That's actually really good, actually. You can just buy all your material and just like spin it, bank it, spin it, bank it, spin it, bank it. It's pretty cool. Okay, so see up here. So you've came through, you've seen Port Sarim, you've seen Remington, you've walked all around here. You see the South Falador farm, which has the pigs. You maybe notice some elemental wizards walking around here. The fire, the air, the earth, and I forget the last one. The water. Sorry. The water elementals, they're pretty friendly if you attack them, they'll attack you. But now, if you want to come up right, you've entered the second biggest, and I think a decently laid out town. This city is Falador. And this has 2 banks, as you can see, one right here, bank, and bank up in the left corner. In the bottom, not the bottom right, but the, you know, the mid right there. I don't know why this one has the 2 bank systems. It's fairly close like this, but it's convenient, and so does Varrock. But let's focus today. And Varrock, you can see, is adjacent from it. Let's focus exactly where we are on this map here, and we'll come back to the bridge where we are across from the blacksmith and the general store. And we're gonna just take our time walking to Varrock, and we'll show you basically what you can do on the way to Varrock, and what happens if you get to Varrock and you get lost and you don't know how to get back. And we'll show people how to basically return back home safe to Lumbridge, if that's where they feel like they're just comfortable for now, if they explore too far or they get lost, which is a pretty good thing for this game. When we come back, I'm going to show you guys how to get a basic equipment, even without the mining. If you wanted to start range, if you want to start mage or like magic. By the way, so this is the path we came across the bridge, and then we took an immediate left after the bridge towards these cow pens. These cow pens are famous, so these have been in the game forever. I've spent hours in there training melee. I find cows are pretty good to train your melee skills. If you bring a bag of food with you that's cooked, you can sit here and train quite a bit. You can train for a while, and you can get good combat skills. You can get level, like, you know, 10 attack, 10 strength, and just kind of level up a little bit and then be stronger. I find the chickens are really good to start off with. Do the chickens. Chickens, I find, they don't hit back. They drop feathers, which can be held in an abundance, so you can stack them on top of each other. Basically, I'll show you. Actually, let me kill a chicken quickly. I'll show you how to kill a chicken. Am I on chop? Yep. There's my attack. One. I'm not too accurate because I'm a range person. I've mainly done bows and all that. So you see the feathers here. You can pick up the feathers. You can pick up raw chicken and even walk it over to this pot over here that's cooking. That's cooking in the house back there, and you can cook it, and you can just continue to do that. You could even do that until you have a full inventory of cooked chicken, and then walk over to the cows, train on them, and just walk back and forth and repeat the process. But you see the feathers, how they stack 5 in a pile here. Now, this is probably a good time to mention that you can click to move on your mini-map. So if you go on your mini-map, actually, up in the top right corner there, and you click on your mini-map, zoom out completely, and click where you want to go on the game, and it'll see a little red flag that'll drop down, and your character will start automatically walking to that spot. Now this is good if you want to do like stints, like long walk stints like this, and you're not really in a rush. And you see how we've saved our energy up to 100 here. Personally, I recommend you at least have 25%, because in this next part, I believe you'll need it. So, right here, right where the sheep are, right before you get to this little squeeze in the road, you'll start seeing the wizards up here. You can right click them. Make sure you right click them. You can see it. Attack, examine them. You know, he works evil magic. That's what the examination says. But there are ones who are level 20 that hit hard, like really hard. So get one square closer. See more pop up there. Let's do one more closer. So even from this area, I feel like it's dangerous. What you want to do is go up to your mini map, toggle your run on with the boot, zoom out on your mini map, click inside the gates, and you will run, because they will get you. They will automatically cast their bolts, and they will just they automatically attack. They are aggressive. I got lucky for some reason and did not get tackled. That could be because of my combat level though, because I'm level 16. So guys, if you're level 3 and you only have 10 HP, they hit you twice, 3 times with a 4, they hit hard. Okay guys, so now you've walked all the way into the city. You've walked to the center of the square, You're standing at this statue. You can see that there's a general store here. But flick on your map. So let's do this together at least. Let's kind of go through what's around us at the moment. So we have a general store. You have an agility training course. That's for members. There's a clothing store. Now, mages can also have a place now to buy their first staff if they want to start learning magic, which is a decent. This is a decent staff shop to go to. Remember, the bank, the money symbol's a bank. This is a very popular bank in the game. You'll see with the anvil across from it again. That's a quick exchange for people just to put all their copper bars in their bank. Some people like to then teleport to Varrock and just do the run in between and go from anvil to bank, and do it that way. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it's just quicker. Sometimes people power mine for all the minerals from one day, and they just power smith the next day. What else is the city really known for? So you're standing in the center. If you pull up the map here, you can see that there's a palace. Palace is cool. You can actually start a couple quests in here. This one will start. Oh, it's members only. It's members only. There is one. Where is it? I swear there's Dragon Slayer. You can start Demon Slayer in one of them. But there's a lot of quests that start for members in here. So I recommend if you're enjoying the game, get members if you are. It's fun. Even at a low level, you can just enjoy a lot of the game more openly as a low level too. I've enjoyed it as a member. So now if you come down here, now rangers can find their a solitude here too. They have an archery shop where you can start buying your bows here. You start buying your actual arrows from the store. I recommend maybe going to a place called the Grand Exchange. And this place is maybe restricted from new accounts. So this might be one of the trade restrictions that people have to actually go through and not be able to use the Grand Exchange. And this is just a reason that Jagex would do this, is because of bots or just malicious trading or account, account trading or what have you. Just nuisance behavior. It's unfortunate, but it's what has to happen. This Grand Exchange basically acts as like a trade hub, basically a trade post in the game. People can bring, let's say, 100 bronze bars if they have them, or 100 shrimp that are raw or cooked. You can then sell them or put them on the Grand Exchange, basically, for a certain price that you want for them. And everything in this game has a fluctuating price. You can set it over a little bit or under a little bit, make a bit of a profit. But ultimately, you can basically have a trading post to sell your stuff while you're offline, or you can buy stuff, vice versa. If someone in the game is selling a rune dagger and you want one, you have the 4K or the 4 grand to buy it. You can come to the Grand Exchange, put that 4 grand up, and if there's one available there, and the player is accepting 4K for it, it automatically goes to you, and they get the money after. It just sits in their box waiting for them to collect. So it's an interesting. It's actually an interesting method. It's like an auction house, basically. It is an auction house, kind of, but there's not really. I wouldn't call it much auctioning happening. Like, there's no bidding. It's an auction house without bidding, almost. Like, it's everything has a set amount. Now, you could come out of the Grand Exchange, end up in the palace, walk back down to where you are here, or walk down this big path right through the bank. If you're now you've seen if you're a mage, basically, where you can go for your runes. If you are an archer, you can go to your archery shop, which is located right here. Now, if you're a warrior coming to Varrock for the first time, you might want to you want to hit the general store. There's also a magic store here for mages. Just remember that now at the bottom right, under this bank, you will find a magic store and another anvil for some reason there. I wouldn't find that anvil too useful, but it's there. You can buy some runes. Now, runes are going to be pricey, so if you did the Mistle and Mystery, you might want to use some of those gems or some of that stuff to sell to people, maybe even. if you can trade. Again, getting around the trade restrictions, you're gonna have to do some high quest point quests. Ernest the Chicken at Draenor Manor that I was talking about earlier is probably a good starting point just to get through that. And Goblin Diplomacy. But for Goblin Diplomacy, as you can't buy your material off the Grand Exchange and get through it quick, you have to kill goblins and get their goblin armor. And then dye it different colors. That one might take a while as a new player, but I would recommend Ernest the Chicken. Do the Cook's Assistant, do Mistale and Mystery, do the Sheep Shearer, just get through a couple of them, get 10 quest points. Just do the ones that are basically very short, easy on the OSRS wiki. But as you've come here now, you've seen the range stuff, you've seen the 2 magic stores, a staff shop and a rune shop. You've seen the bank. The Grand Exchange, you'll get there, but I don't think you have access to it just yet as a new player. Now, if you're a warrior, you would have maybe seen it as you ran by in your first entry in here, but once you get in the gate here, you'll see this sword shop. Now, as a melee person, you're not limited just to swords. You can have an axe, a battle axe if you want. You can have a mace. You can have really a lot of weapons. Yeah, what's determined on holding them is your attack. An attack is basically accuracy and what you can wield. You can go to the sword shop and pick up different swords from bronze to iron to steel to black to mithril to adamantium. I don't think they have a rune. But I do believe in free to play. If you want to rune anything, I think you gotta go to the Champions Guild, and once you have a certain amount of quest points, they'll let you in to do a quest, and then you can, after the quest, talk to a guy who will sell you rune equipment. But yeah. But as you can see, like, even Varrock has its own little, like, just kind of system of paths that lead into each other. This little area with the gate over here with the mini game, unfortunately you can't go into yet. This is one of the first areas I ever went into. I remember when I was a member back in, must have been 2008 or something. Before that, it was like 2006. This is one of the first areas I went into, and I bought an eye patch from this clothes store because it was the first member item that I realized that I couldn't have as a free-to-play player. And I was like, man, people will notice me if I have like a white shirt on, like the white desert shirt and an eye patch on and a halberd on. But yeah, those were the days. I thought it was so cool. Oh, disable effects. You can disable stuff on the map too. You are here. Yep, perfect. Now, you've probably come here now and wondering, okay, I've seen all this stuff. You've probably done all your running around now. Enjoy Varrock. Run around. See what it has, honestly. Talk to each one of these people. You can right click any NPC and just / trade them. Or like me, randomly talk to them, but / click and then trade. And you can see what people have. This general store is basically the same thing as the Lumbridge one. So you haven't missed much if you've came here. I'd say the only difference here is, yeah, it still sells for 20 coins by emerald. The only difference here, I believe, there's something new on here. What is it? The bowl, the tin, or there's something new here? Maybe it's a jug. It could be a hammer. So buy a hammer here. That's what I would recommend. If you have a couple coins, buy a hammer here. Another quest that is really, really, really good to go get a lot of quest points. See this fellow here, Romeo, with the flowers wandering around Varrock. Well, his quest is pretty short. He wants to do a Romeo and Juliet thing. We're talking real Romeo and Juliet. You'll find the berries near this altar. The altar you came in. You know, that deadly altar. If you bring a bag of food with you, the berries can be found needed to make the potion, and you'll find out what potion in the quest as you go on the wiki for it. The berries are literally down there, like past the trees, past this you know, this evil stairs. So if you even run along the wall here and go past there, you can find the berries and pick up 2 of them or 3, whatever. I think you only need 1 really, but I pick up 2 just in case. You grab them, and then you can run back, and that is another great quest to get the quest points needed to bypass the 10 quest points for the trade requirements. If you do that quest and Ernest the Chicken, Romeo and Juliet and Ernest the Chicken will most likely get you right there at the 10 quest points if you've done the Sheep Shearer and Mistle and Mystery. Romeo and Juliet, Ernest the Chicken. After you've done... That should be your reason actually to basically come to Varrock, is you want to get those quest points to unlock your trade restriction and be able to use the Grand Exchange and trade other players and start being part of the community, basically. So after you've done all of that, you've checked out the city, you've done, hopefully by this point, you've done Romeo and Juliet. So that's pretty critical. You've gotten a lot of quest points by that point. You're probably at 10 almost, or near 10. If you're not, click your magic spell book and open up all your magic abilities. You'll see this level 0 Lumbridge home teleport. You can use this every 30 minutes to go home, back to the castle, exactly where you were at Lumbridge. Let's use it now. Let's just head back. Your guy will do an animation where he draws a circle. Don't interrupt this, because he'll just walk away and it won't happen. Okay. So now that you're back at Lumbridge, now you're all safe. You can only use that, and you'll see a bottom left timer there. Home teleport cooldowns 30 minutes. So you can't be doing that again after that. That's quite like you just can't do that. You gotta cool down. What you're gonna do now is after you've done that quest, you can go back up to what you were doing in Lumbridge, basically. And now you can almost start to enjoy, hopefully, more freedom if you've gotten the Ernest the Chicken and Romeo and Juliet done. I can't recommend enough doing those quests, because they are pretty crucial to getting the quest points. Yeah. So now you're back at Lumbridge. Now I think if you didn't want to do any of this. Oh, I gotta mine, I gotta get the bars and put them in there and get the equipment and do this. These people, these three people in blue right outside the general store at Lumbridge, talk to them. And you'll see a ranger for archery, a mage for magic, and the warrior. If you talk to them, go through their dialogue, and they will give you a weapon of the spec that you, or the the class, the role, the thing, whatever that you're trying to do. I believe that's probably the best way now to get through getting at least an entry point in the combat right away, and killing the chickens and just doing all that stuff and getting set up right now for those quests to be done. So make sure you do that if you haven't done that and you're wondering why you have no weapons, and wondering if you can get a shield, a sword, or a staff, or a couple runes. I'm curious too what I want to see. You can go to claim. I want to see what she gives me. The claim magic one. You have some mine runes in your bank. You have some air runes in your bank. You can have some runes in your bank. Climb the stairs until you go see this icon to really find the bank. So yeah, even they're pretty helpful, but they know when you're lying to them though. So use your runes. I think you can go back and get some more off them if they just hand you more. If that's the case, again, you're being a mage, do Rune Mysteries too. Rune Mysteries is a quest that you're going to be going to Varrock for also. And you're also going to have to come up here. And this is a place I didn't show you guys probably before in this stream / kind of guide. I want to show you guys now. You can come up through here. Behind the general store, just walk up through this path. And you'll end up past that jail. You'll end up at that town we were talking about before. Draenor Village. Now you can cross this big stone bridge to the Wizard's Tower, and this is where actually the Rune Mysteries quest will have you travel to and back from, and then they'll want you to travel to Varrock and speak to somebody, and then come back, and then go back to the Wizard's Tower. You can do that. I mean, it's a great quest for the quest point too. It's great for basically just starting up like any type of like entry point to the game where you definitely want to unlock rune crafting. For no matter what, even if you're not being a mage, you're gonna have to level it eventually, maybe if you're planning on playing like the quests and stuff like that down the road. I mean, I would honestly recommend that. Yeah, and like that's the thing, is you guys are gonna have to oh, you know what's another thing? Kill these imps and collect their beads if you see them around. They teleport around though. They're really tricky. They're actually really tricky to kill. But you're gonna want to try to kill them and get the beads for the, what was it called? The Imp Catcher quest. Yes, the Imp Catcher quest is good for raising your magic. If your combat's already high or your ranging's already high, level your magic too, because it won't affect your combat level, I find. Because I'm level 16 with, 10 magic and 20 strength with 23. You can almost have a like a mix. But guys, this is my guide on basically how to walk from Lumbridge to Varrock and safely do some skills around Lumbridge. If you haven't basically started the game before, or you're new and wondering what you can actually do in this game and kind of get around and at least have like a bit of a start and not be just lost. So I just want to thank you guys for watching the stream on the OS RuneScape part. I will be actually stopping the stream right now, but I'm going to do another stream today, and yeah, I might do just another like RuneScape stream later. But for now, I was just gonna try to like do this guide as like a YouTube video guide for people that haven't actually gotten into the game yet. Thank you guys for like the 2 viewers though. I appreciate like the support for the YouTube channel actually, and people commenting on the video and actually starting to like it. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna edit maybe a little bit more and stuff and videos and kind of get it a little bit more clean and not just like a block of a stream. But thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of my followers too. Jeez, guys, thank you. I will be back again today. I will be back. I will be back. I'm coming back. I'm gonna play RuneScape again later. I might play Hearthstone a little bit on PC too. I'm kind of feeling like Hearthstone RuneScape type of day, you guys. Honestly, yeah, it's gonna be a little tough for me to kind of choose. Maybe I should actually play some Hearthstone now then, maybe. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I got window capture. I gotta change it all. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for watching the stream. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Take care, you guys.